Hello everyone, today's book is called Two Christmas Mice. It's by Corinne DeMoss and illustrated by Stephanie Roth. Oh, look at those cute little happy mice. Here's our title page. We have a cute little snowy den. It's our dedication page. We have a beautiful snowy scene. It looks like there's our den. It was the morning before Christmas. Anna Mouse, who lived in the hayfield south of Big Maple Tree, was setting up her Christmas tree in her parlor. First it wibbled and wobbled to the right, then it wibbled and wobbled to the left. Finally it stood straight. Have you ever had any trouble getting your Christmas tree to stand just right? I have. Sometimes you have to put something underneath one side to get it to kind of balance out. So it looks like she's getting ready for Christmas. Willa Mouse, who lived in the hayfield north of Big Maple Tree, was making paper chains. First the glue wasn't sticky enough, then it was too sticky. Finally it was just right. I see a big stocking on the fire. A lot of people like to make these paper chains around this time of year for decorations or even to count down the holidays. That's what I always do. I make one for each day, and every day you take one off and it counts down as you get closer and closer to Christmas. By afternoon, it had started snowing. It snowed and it snowed. Anna Mouse got ready to go to town to buy decorations for her Christmas tree. But when she got to the end of her long burrow, the snow was too deep. She closed her door tight. Oh, she wanted to go out, but it was just too snowy, so she came back. Willa Mouse got ready to go to town to buy her Christmas tree. But when she got to the end of her long burrow, the snow was too deep. She closed her door tight. So it looks like both of them wanted to get some things. She wanted to get decorations because she already had a tree, and she wanted to get a tree because she already had decorations, but both of them were snowbound, stuck inside because of the snow. What was Anna Mouse going to do without decorations for her tree? Would Santa even know that it was a Christmas tree? Anna Mouse found an old pie tin in the pantry and cut out a silver star. She put it on top of the tree. Wow, that was a good idea, good problem solving, using what she had around the house. And she made a star out of a pie tin. I can tell in her expression here, she's feeling a little worried. What was Willa Mouse going to do without a Christmas tree? Willa Mouse took her cape and bonnet off the coat rack in the hall. Then she dragged the coat rack to the burrow, down the burrow to her parlor. She stood the coat rack up in the corner. Would Santa Mouse even know that this was supposed to be a Christmas tree? She decorated it with the paper chains. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of similarities between these two mice. They're great problem solvers. So Willa Mouse, also feeling worried or a little sad because she doesn't have a tree, she said, I know, I can problem solve and use something that's tall like a tree and decorate it with those beautiful paper chains I made. Anna Mouse ate a little supper and hoped it would stop snowing. She planned to go caroling with all the other mice from the south hayfield. They always sang to the rabbits who lived in the blackberry patch since, as you know, rabbits are fond of carols but can't sing at all. But when Anna Mouse looked out, the snow was even deeper. The wind blew snow right into her tidy front hall. She had to push hard to close the door tight. All alone on Christmas Eve, and no caroling. What a bummer. Her big plans for the evening had to be put to a halt due to the snow. This was Willa Mouse's first Christmas in her new home. She ate a little supper and hoped it would stop snowing. She planned to go caroling with other mice from the north hayfield. They sang to the squirrels at the edge of the woods since, as you know, squirrels are fond of carols but can never remember the words. But when Willa Mouse looked out, the snow was even deeper. The wind blew snow all over her cape and bonnet. She had to push hard to close the door tight. All alone on Christmas Eve, and no caroling. Once again, I'm seeing how similar these two mice are. They both have plans that they wanted to do, go caroling, but the snow is keeping them from doing what they want. And they're both all alone on Christmas Eve. Annabelle got her violin from her music room. At least she'd play some Christmas music by her tree. She hung her portrait of Mozart, her favorite composer, on the parlor wall for company. So there is a human composer called Mozart. So I guess the mice have a Mozart composer. And I love that she thought of something to do. If she can't go caroling, she's going to play her own Christmas music. These mice are so good at persevering through challenges, aren't they? Let's see what Willow Mouse does. Willow Mouse curled up in her soft sofa. It was the first time she'd ever sat in her parlor since she moved. She decided to read aloud from the night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring. Do you know the next line to that story? Not even a mouse. I wonder how their story goes, though, because they are mice. So she's decided to cozy up with a good book. That's a great idea, I think. But something was stirring. Willow Mouse looked up from her book. Something was happening on the other side of the parlor wall. But that couldn't be. Willow Mouse started reading again. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. So she's hearing something on the wall, and she's saying, what is that? I don't know. I'm going to keep reading. But now there was no mistaking it. First there were some odd notes. Then there was music. It was coming right from behind her portrait of Mozart, her favorite composer. So we have another Mozart lover in the book. She's saying, I'm kind of hearing music coming from here. Mouse stood close to the portrait of Mozart. Someone was playing Christmas carols on a violin. Willow Mouse lifted the portrait down and pressed her ear against the wall. Only a mouse could play that well. She tapped the wall, but no one answered. She tapped again, louder. Then she knocked with both paws. Still no answer. She spread some newspaper on the floor and started to dig. Anna Mouse finished playing Silent Night, but it wasn't silent at all. There was an odd scratching sound coming from the wall of her parlor, right behind her portrait of Mozart. Anna Mouse put down her violin and pressed her ear against the wall. It sounded like digging. Can you figure out what's happening? Let's keep reading. Anna Mouse lifted the portrait of Mozart off the wall. There was a hole in the wall! And peering through the hole was a friendly mouse. It was Willow Mouse. Although the front doors of Anna Mouse's burrow and Willow Mouse's burrows were far apart in different hayfields, their parlors were actually close together. Anna Mouse and Willow Mouse were neighbors, but they had never even seen each other before. A new friend for Christmas, cried Willow Mouse. Let's take down the whole wall, cried Anna Mouse, and so they did. So even though their entrances to their home aren't near, they didn't even know they were neighbors, but the backs of their house kind of share a wall, so they were able to connect with one another. And I said, let's get rid of that wall. Soon they had one big parlor with 2 fireplaces. They swept up the mess and put Anna Mouse's tree in the center of the room. They strung it with Willow Mouse's beautiful paper chains. The tree looked perfect. So remember how one mouse had a tree with no decorations and one had decorations with no tree? Well, together they have a beautiful Christmas tree that's decorated for just in time for Christmas. And they're not alone anymore. Anna Mouse and Willow Mouse stayed up dancing around the tree singing carols. Fa la 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 la. Then they fell asleep on Willow Mouse's soft sofa, and just in time, for Santa Mouse had arrived. He slid down Anna Mouse's chimney and found that he was in Willow Mouse's parlor too. He piled their presents under the tree. I wonder if Santa was surprised to say, well, I thought I was going to Anna Mouse's house, but I guess I meant both of their houses. Anna Mouse and Willow Mouse are both still asleep. But since you are curious, here is what Santa Mouse brought them. Anna Mouse will get a silver violin charm on a pink silk ribbon. Willow Mouse will get a pink diary with a purple plume pen. And inside the big box with both their names is a tea set for two. Oh, lovely. I bet they're just going to become the best of friends from here on out. Well, I thought that was kind of a fun book. I like how creative problem solvers both of these mice ladies were. They found a way to persevere through challenges, and in the end they got to have a very unique and fun Christmas. Thanks for reading and learning with me. Have a splendid day. See you soon.